Hello cubers, and welcome to Rubik's Matrix. If you are new, then welcome to this channel. This channel is all about Rubik's Cubes, many different types of variations of Rubik's Cubes, learning how to solve Rubik's Cubes, just everything to do with Rubik's Cubes in general. But specifically in this video, we're going to be learning about our cube in general, just learning about notation, corners, edge pieces, center pieces, faces, learning all these vocabulary and terms and what the formulas mean and solving the Rubik's Cube. We're going to be learning all of this so we can make your learning experience ultimately easier. To start off, this right here, push this to the side for you. This is a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. When I say cube is a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, I mean the dimensions of this cube are 3 by 3 by 3. And now you have understood exactly what a 3x3 Rubik's Cube is, we can dive into the parts of a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, breaking it down, like breaking down the parts of a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So, the top layer. The top layer, it depends on what's your up-facing layer. It depends on what color is your up-facing layer. Hypothetically speaking, let's just say you have it up on white. So, white and the layer here, see, there are 1, 2, 3 layers. As you can see, 1, 2, and 3. The first layer would be the layer I'm spinning around right now. If this is the face that's up, the layer I'm spinning right now would be the first layer. With the same face up of white, the middle layer would be the layer that I am spinning right now. This layer right here would be the middle layer due to the fact that it is in between two layers. And it is a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Finally, we have our bottom layer, which it depends on what face is facing up, but remember, our example is white is facing up. So the bottom layer would be the layer I am spinning right now because it is on the bottom of the 3x3 cube. As before, we have finished talking about layers. Now we should get into talking about the faces of the Rubik's Cube. On the Rubik's Cube, there are 6 faces. Think about this as your math class. You've probably heard in your math class that a Rubik's Cube has 6 faces. It could have been used as an example, but just use cubes as an example. Cubes in general have to have 6 faces. And for a Rubik's Cube in this case, every face is a different color. Like this is a face, 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 and this is a face. If you count how many times I said this, excluding the thing I just said now, excluding the word I just said now, I would have said this 6 times, excluding what I just said now. Therefore, you can tell that there are 6 faces on a Rubik's Cube. Now, we're going to get into the centerpieces of the cube. Centerpieces are very crucial when it comes to solving the cube. They are basically a built foundation when you're learning how to solve the Rubik's Cube. But let's get into identifying what centerpieces are. As you can see, we have a cube right here. When we were talking about faces a couple of moments ago, there are 6 faces, 6 centerpieces. So on each face, there is 1 centerpiece. So this is the white face, 1 centerpiece. Blue face, 1 centerpiece. Here's the yellow face, 1 centerpiece. Green face, 1 centerpiece. Red face, 1 centerpiece. Orange face, 1 centerpiece. So basically, the centerpiece is the piece that is in the middle of the cube. Middle of the face of the cube. My bad. Middle of the face of the cube. And that's just what a centerpiece is. And again, the centerpiece is one of the most important pieces on the cube because it builds the foundation of when you're trying to solve the Rubik's Cube. It builds the foundation of the technique that you're going to use to solve the Rubik's Cube. Another important thing to note about centerpieces is learning the opposites of centerpieces. The opposite of white is always going to be yellow. The opposite of red is always going to be orange. The opposite of blue is always going to be green. It will never change. It will always be that. And that's an important thing to note when you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. Because it like changes the dynamic when you're solving the Rubik's Cube. And yes, just knowing the opposites of colors helps you very much, especially with knowing centerpieces. If you know your opposites, then basically you can solve the Rubik's Cube using any starting color. And that's really efficient when it comes to competitions if you start on the wrong color or whatever mistake you make when it comes to solving your Rubik's Cube. Now you guys will most likely have a good understanding of faces and their opposites. Now we're going to get into edge pieces. Edge pieces, a good way to differentiate them between everything, has two stickers, like this right here, white and blue, white and orange, white and green, white and red. And there's one for everyone, like red and white, red and green, red and yellow, and red and blue. Edge pieces are everywhere, and the best way to know what an edge piece is and just differentiate them, edge pieces have only two stickers and are next to the centerpiece of the face. While corners, which I'm going to get talking into right after this, corners have three stickers and are diagonal from the centerpiece of the face. Just as a side note, there are actually 12 edge pieces in the cube. That's just a side note, but it could be important later on if you're gonna if you're gonna reassemble your cube. It's really important to know if you have all your pieces, so maybe that will be important to you. There are 12 edge pieces, 6 center pieces, and 8 corner pieces. Just to tell you everything there is on the Rubik's Cube, there are 6 center pieces, 12 edges, and 8 corner pieces. Now, getting into corners, a corner is the only thing on the cube that has 3 stickers and is diagonal from the centerpiece of the face. For example, let's look at the white face. Here's the centerpiece, and here's what's diagonal to it. Here's the centerpiece, here's what's diagonal to it. Here's the centerpiece, here's what's diagonal to it. Here's the centerpiece, here is what is diagonal to it. So on the cube, we have 8 centerpieces. Well, you might be thinking, hey, this is a centerpiece, this is a corner piece, this is a corner piece, this is a corner piece, this is a corner piece. There are 6 sides on a cube, so there's 24. No. Look, on the cube, you're not supposed to go by stickers, okay? What I'm holding right here, these 3 fingers are on one corner piece. Okay, just like edges, 1, not 1. So corner pieces, there are actually 8. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 second. 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 corner pieces. And there are 12 edges and 6 center pieces. For center pieces, you don't need to go by that because it's only 1 and you can't go in 2 because there's nothing in 2 because that's just holders of the cube. There's 6 center pieces. So now, we're going to get into the notation, which is a little bit complicated at first, but don't worry, you guys are smart, you'll get it. Okay, notation is actually not hard. It's actually pretty easy. The first notation we're going to start with is U. U for under. But in this case, U under, it's not going to be under, it's going to be for up. U for up. We can use that as well. Therefore, for this, we're going to, U meaning up. Meaning you're moving the up layer, which basically means you're moving the first layer. If it just has a U on it, then we're going to move it like this. Or like this. Just move it like this. Just move it to the left. You have it like this. Move it to the left. Okay? If we have U prime, which is basically U with an apostrophe, we're going to move it like this. To the right. You're going to, if it's U prime, U with an apostrophe, you're going to move it like this. This. So that is the U, which equals up face. Remember, U equals up face, okay? U equals up face. Remember that, and you will succeed with when this letter pops up in your algorithm. Now, we're going to get into D, which in Rubik's Cube terms stands for down, which helps you more with algorithms. When you're just talking about the same and simple D in your algorithm, it's going to be moving your down, your third layer, to the left. Left. You're going to move the down layer to the left when it just has an old D. But on the other hand, if you have D prime, D with an apostrophe, D opposite, you're going to be moving it this way to the right with your right. It doesn't matter how you move it. You just need to move it to the right. You need to move it to the right. And that's the D. That's the down face. That's how you do that, man. That's it. D and D prime. There's other algorithms coming your way and other notations coming your way, so be ready for it. Okay, now we're going to get into the left face. The left face. This is the left face. This is the right face. This is the left face, right face. Now, I'm not going to confuse you too much, okay? We're not talking about the right face. We're going to be talking about left face. It's basically this. Like, I'm moving right now. So, if you just have a big old L on your algorithm sheet, you're just going to move it, the face downwards. Downwards. But if you have L prime on the other hand, you're going to move it upwards. L prime, L with an apostrophe. You guys know the deal already, so I'm just going to get into it. L prime is going to be moving the cube like this. It's going to be moving it up instead of down. Now we're going to get into the right face. As I said before, now we're going to get into the right face. As I said before, this is the left face, this is the right face. So now we're going to focus on this side of the cube. Therefore, this is the right face. Okay? This is a little different for just the plain or old R on your algorithm sheet. You're going to move it upwards. Upwards. If you have a plain old R in your algorithm sheet, upwards. Upwards. Okay, if you have R prime, you're going to move downwards. R prime, you guys already know the drill. R prime, you're going to move it downwards. Downwards, okay? You're going to move it downwards. That's the right face for you. That's algorithm. So now we're going to get into the front face and back face. Front face, back face. Back face might be just a little bit challenging. It took me some time to learn, but don't worry, you guys will get it. So yeah, let's get into front face. As I said before, we're going to be getting into front face now. Think about this as a doorknob, okay? When you're turning the doorknob like this, that is just F. Like just a plain old F on your algorithm sheet. Like this. Plain old F on your algorithm sheet. But when you get into F prime, which is F turning backwards, basically the opposite direction. Here, guys, if this is like not enough for you, F, or just a letter meaning just turning it the way you're supposed to. F prime, if you're confused with primes, prime just means the opposite direction you just turned it in. Therefore, it's really self-explanatory what prime is, but for F prime, you need to turn it to this way. As for F, just a normal F, we turned it this way. F prime, you turn it this way. Now let's get into the back face. This is the thing people always trip up on, but don't worry, guys. It just takes a little bit of practice and you'll get there. Talking about back face, people don't usually think about this that much, but the back face is this, green. Let's just say, see, the opposite of blue is green. We've always been on the blue side here, right? Opposite of blue, green. So if you look at this, blue, green. If you're on this side, if you're on blue, right, the back face is always going to be green. If you're on red, the back face is always going to be orange. If you're on white, the back face is always going to be yellow. So now we were on blue, right? For this, B, just an old B on your sheet would be turning it this way. See, you could use your back or you could go like this, but you're going to be turning it this way, to the left. B, left. But B prime is the other way, so B to the right. So this way is B prime. It's going to be this way and this way. So that's back face, and now we're going to be getting straight into, I don't know yet, but we'll see. Just as a side note, each turn on the cube, even I didn't know this. This kind of blew my mind. But each turn on the cube is actually 1/4 of a turn. This is not one turn. This is not one turn. This is 1/4 of a turn. Let me show you what a full turn is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4 equals 1. Therefore, a full turn is 4 turns on a Rubik's Cube. Which blew my mind because I never actually thought that way. But, you know, it's cool, you know. It's cool. So basically, if on a cube it says like, let's just say D2, okay? Down 2, down. Remember that? D2, down 2. Here, if it doesn't have a prime, then you don't have to turn it the prime way. But if it does have the prime, you turn it this way. If it's D2, remember, turn it to the right. But in this case, let's just say it's just normal D2, you know. Normal D2. So if it's just normal D2, 1, 2. 1/2 of a turn. Okay, so again, D2 is 1, 2. Okay? 1, 2. Okay? So now you guys know all about notations, basically. You guys basically just know everything about notation. I mean, you guys are basically ready to solve. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you guys know notation, you know the basics of the 3x3, you know what the cube is consisted of, you guys will know how to solve the 3x3 as a whole. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was quite a long one, as I'm going to go back into the editing and see. It's going to be at least 9-10 minutes long. If not, you guys can roast me down in the comment section down below. I honestly do not care, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found this tutorial, I mean, not really a tutorial, but I hope you found this explanation of the 3x3 cube very enhancing to the way you guys are going to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube. The next video on this channel, which I'm going to try to get posted quickly, is going to be about solving the 3x3 Rubik's Cube, all the steps into one. But now, since you guys know all of this, all the, you know, the preface, the whole entire preface work you have to do to learn the sides and all the notations and everything, you guys are set. You guys are now ready to solve the Rubik's Cube. So yeah, this video is just a preface. But please also like this video and subscribe if you found this video interesting. Like if you actually like this video. That's kind of the point of a like button. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.